Hey, my name is Alze Calhoun, and you are a coach, consultant, or advisor who's currently asking the question, how do I use Claude AI to capture testimonials and client case studies in 2026? My answer, use Claude to build your next opportunity, not just document your last one. When I came to Claude, I was pretty comfortable with my case study creation process. I've done it at least 22 different times. I understand how to create the moment, ask the questions, and navigate the conversation. I felt pretty good about it. But then I started to teach the method to clients, and I learned it wasn't good enough. One of my clients, Elon Lindsay, lost $15,000 because she didn't do the client recap and case study process that we've talked about. So I needed Claude to help me create a process that wasn't just easy to understand, but could also be repeated rhythmically by someone else. Now, if you want to skip past this trial and error and just use my updated process to improve your case study capture in 2026, I made a free tool to help you get started. A link to that is in the description. Right now, I want to tell you about the mistakes I've made when I started working with Claude, so you don't repeat them. In my mind, the reason why Elon missed the opportunity was I hadn't spelled out the process in enough detail. I understood if you give Claude the right prompt, it can be amazing at documenting a process with detail. So let's do it. I give Claude a role. You are an expert case study specialist. I'm a business consultant with 10 years experience. I need to create compelling case studies. Create an interview process I can follow. Give me a pre-interview checklist, structure interview question framework, and techniques for identifying the most compelling story angles. Copy, paste. At this moment, I'm encouraged because I know that Claude's going to help me find the element of process I'm missing. Phase 1, pre-interview foundation. There's an ideal case study candidate profile. They achieve results, they're willing to share their story, they represent your target market, and they have a compelling transformation narrative. And here's an email you can send. Sounds awesome. Next step, interview architecture. They call this the STAR Plus framework. Opening sequence, situation analysis. There's some follow-up probing techniques. In the next section, you do a deep dive. You hear about the solution specifically. You document results and impact. Okay, I'm following. Let's keep going. Phase 3, interview execution excellence. Transition techniques, managing difficult moments, even a real-time note-taking framework. This is good. This is good. I agree with all of this. But see, that's the thing. I already gave Elon all of this. Sure, a detail or two might be different, but these are the core fundamentals. So wait, if it's the right process that makes sense to me and makes sense to Elon, why didn't she follow through? Now, this moment wasn't intuitive for me. Elon and I had to discuss this directly. And when we did, she explained. It wasn't about what to do. It was about aligning the client recap case study moment with the ultimate goals Elon was trying to achieve. There was a specific pivot Elon was trying to make in her business. And it wasn't immediately clear to her how documenting the current case study was going to take her to her future end goal. Here's the critical insight Elon and I agreed on. Case studies aren't about recording your work. Case studies are about documenting your results. Whether you're trying to serve more of the same client or pivot to a new client altogether, any point of proof you have helps you tell the story better. This means the work I do with Claude needs to change. It means Claude needs to understand the context of the client I'm ultimately trying to serve so that I can make sure the recap and case study process I execute is aligned. For me, the easiest way to understand the context required is through a document I call the North Star. In this document, I have my professional goals, I have my personal goals, but most importantly, this document is anchored by a case study. I'm giving Claude an example of the kind of work I've done well in the past so it can help me repeat that work over and over and over again. This case study is with Cameron Hawkins, and it tells the story of the recurring revenue model he and I built together. I also need an improved prompt. The uploaded document contains the who, what, when, where, why, and how of my best client work. Please use this context to inform your response. I want to conduct a recap conversation with the client. Please give me specific questions I should ask during this recap to help me capture detailed proof of results. Under each question, provide rationale for why I'm asking the question. Give Claude the context. Copy and paste the prompt. Let's see what Claude creates. So it says, based on my North Star document, it begins to give me questions. So these are the kinds of questions that I would ask my client. What was your situation before we started working together? This captures the struggle that resonates with your ideal clients. How would you describe what we actually delivered together? You need your clients to articulate your deliverable in their own words. What's different about how you operate now? What feels more predictable or controlled? This captures the felt experience. How people feel about your service is very important. Sure, you did great work, but they'll forget the details. What they'll hold on to is how they felt about your work. You got to capture that. What would you tell someone else about the difference between having this work and not having it? What would you tell someone else about your experience? This generates referral language in their authentic voice. You need your current clients to practice the language of how they will explain your service to someone else. They don't need to be literal salespeople, but there's got to be a word or phrase they can quickly recall. You establish that moment in this interview. Let's keep going. What was your biggest resistance to this process? This question captures the breakthrough moment. Sure, some clients are easy peasy, but some clients require additional elbow grease. And oftentimes, it's the additional elbow grease that unlocks a brand new outcome. You've got to capture those powerful moments because you want to be able to tell that story later. Looking back, what would have happened if you continued operating the old way? This creates contrast between the before and after. And at the end of the day, that's what you're trying to establish. Your client had a scowling, frowny face at the beginning and a joyous smile at the end. You got to get that before and after on record. When Elon realized she missed this opportunity, here's what she said.
Let me be very clear. It cost me, not doing a recap for one of my projects, cost me $15,000 last month. Legitimately, my scope was amended by $15K because I did not deliver a recap to them.
Then she realized how easy it could have been to avoid that cost.
Something that could have, if I was not hemming and hawing about it, probably I could have knocked out in an hour.
What really opened Elon's eyes was the confronting moment when she realized your business can't grow without documented proof.
How it benefits me in terms of when it goes to then working with a different client, if they haven't seen firsthand, if they haven't seen the execution, if they weren't present for it, they don't know that I can do the thing. I don't have something to show them of this is what we did. I still need the thing to show somebody else so that I can be like, hey, I already did this. I can do this for you. Right now, I don't have anything to show anybody other than I got some pictures, but it's not succinct. It's not something I can quickly walk them through. I'm arguably believe that the recap box is actually the most vital box. And what I mean by that is it is indeed the box that leaves the bags of money for you to just go and pick up. It is the documentation of your demonstration of success. And when people see that, they're like, oh, cool. Here's some money.
If you want to strengthen your client recap and case study capture process in 2026, I've created a free tool to get you started. A link to that is in the description. This next video on the screen will show you how to turn your one-time clients into annual retainer recurring revenue. I'll see you there.